Good day. How y'all doing? I don't know what to say. It's the day. It's not more anyway. I just wanted to pop on here and talk about something that's been bothering me for a while now. I'm getting tired of people commenting on my progress or the amount of miles I hike in a day. Sometimes I beat myself up about it too, like, oh, I could have done 15 when I've only done 10, stuff like. But at the end of the day, what I'm doing out here, and what I've said from day one, is I am hiking my own hike. This is my adventure, my experience, and I'm doing it exactly how I want to do it. I want to say 99% of the people I have talked to all have the same regrets. They've gone too fast. They didn't socialize enough. They wish they had taken more zeros. They wish they stopped and smelled the roses once in a while, or stopped at a view and sat and took their shoes off and chilled. And I took all that to heart. Right from the beginning. And in the beginning, I was like, come on, truck driver, we gotta go. We gotta move. We gotta get there. And then somewhere right before Damascus, I had this thought. I said, what the hell am I doing out here? There's no reason to rush. I have time. Originally my day was June 30th, because I was like, I gotta get back to the real world, and now I have until the middle of September if I need it. And I'm actually set up right now where from now to September 1st, I may need to maintain like 10 miles a day to finish. And I usually do more than 10, and I have my lulls. I had a lull in Virginia. I had a little bit of a lull in Pennsylvania. And, that happens. But at the end of the day, I'm out here because in the real world, where you're watching from, all I do is rush around. I'm a fat fuck in the real world. If you look at my day one videos, like, look how fat and unhappy I looked. You could just see it in my eyes. I was a sad piece of shit, and I work myself to death. I'm always stressing. My hair, whatever's left of it, is turning white, and and everything hurts in the real world because I'm always, and I also in the real world don't want to live. I don't want to die, but I don't want to live either. And right before this trip, I was close, man. I was close. I think God knew I needed this trip because, I came out here with a $400 a month budget, got monetized. I think that's my sign to just keep going, and stay out here. Real life, I don't want to be alive. And the people commenting on my miles and the progress I'm making, like, what I have to say in response to that is, why do I want to rush back to a place where I don't want to be alive? And that's the thing out here. Am I going to finish? Hell yeah, I'm going to finish. Man, I knew back at Neil Gap, 30 miles in, I was in too deep. And now I'm about to hit 1,500 today, and am I going slow? Hell yeah, I'm going slow. People are blazing right past me, but you know what? Every single person I talk to is not having fun. Do I bitch and moan? Yeah. The heat sucks. The rain sucks. It's brutal. It's brutal. These bugs, the overgrown grass, it's brutal. So there's a fair amount of complaining, but that doesn't mean that, to me, every day isn't a great day. I love being out here. I haven't once thought any negative thoughts about not wanting to live, or, out here, I'm happy. I'm free. I'm free. That's it. And a lot of you watching at home, you're not free. And I get it. I relate. Why would I want to go back to that? Why do I don't want to go back to feeling trapped every single day. And, I'll have to get back to it eventually. But if I could prolong going back to a life where I'm not free, then, free and happy, then, so I don't know. I'd appreciate it if people just didn't make shitty remarks about my progress or how many miles I'm doing. This is my hike. My hike. I share it with you guys. I love sharing it with you guys, but I'm starting to realize why other vloggers aren't honest about the miles, days off, and what they do off the trail. A lot of my favorite vloggers are they just do trail. That's it. That's all they show. Once in a while you get a sneak peek of what they're eating or whatever. No, I want to be open, honest, and transparent. But, yeah, no, those comments about my progress, like, you're missing the point here. This is my Hunter S. Thompson inspired Gonzo vlogging. It's the story of a fat, sad piece of shit who wanted to kill himself hiking the Appalachian Trail, and I just happen to be that that fat, sad piece of shit. It's the story of a guy hiking the AT, and I am that guy, and that's what I'm aiming for here. But just enjoy the story, man. I don't know why y'all want me to finish too, but I don't want to be making posts like this. I want this to stay. You gotta remember, this is my safe place here, and there's a few of you that are just making it not a safe place for me. And yeah, I don't know. That's all I had to get off my chest before I keep moving on. I'm on track I know what I'm doing out here. Yeah, I know what I'm doing out here. I'm on track to finish by the end of August. Not the end of June like I had originally planned, but honestly, that was so unrealistic with the weather and everything, finishing by June. That's crazy, and I can't even imagine doing the miles it would have taken me to get to June. Like, I could pull a 20-mile day, but it's brutal. It sucks. I don't want to do that. The last 20 I did, I was in pain for like 2 days. I don't want to live like that. That defeats the purpose of being out here. This is an adventure, and I'm adventuring, and it's not the last adventure. I have lots more adventures locked and loaded, and like Hadrian's Wall, and someday I'd like to finish walking across the country, but that takes way too much money. It's not, you can't just like sleep anywhere and stuff. It's a lot more technical. But I have a lot of stuff I want to do, but right now what I'm trying to do out here, like, there's goals that I haven't even talked about on here. Like, they're like private goals, but I'll share them with you right now. I don't want to kill myself, one, which I would probably never do anyway, but I want to be happy again. I want to be happy. I spent the past 20 years struggling with addiction, drinking, smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. During COVID there, I couldn't even leave my house until I had half a pint of vodka in me. I was doing shooters of vodka in the shower, and while I'm showering, I'm puking blood into my toilet. You want to get real, There's just a part of me that I don't discuss on here, and I don't want to discuss that on here. There's just like really crappy like addiction stuff on here that it's just not part of the story, but it's part of why I'm out here. And I was just so fat and unhealthy, and my doctor was always talking about my cholesterol. And when I saw my doctor when I went to smoking, I got my blood done, and now my uric acid is good, my cholesterol's good, and I'm good. And there's just a lot of stuff I'm trying to heal from out here, and I don't want this to end. And it will eventually, and I'll have to go back to my life, but who cares? Who cares how long it takes me? That's the point I'm trying to make. When I see people passing me that started in April, I beat myself up over my miles. I do. But, they're not having fun, and I am. And That's the PSA I'm trying to make. I'm out here to save myself. I'm not out here just to hike the trail. If I wanted to just hike the trail, I would barrel through it, be miserable and unhappy, and then go back to my everyday life. Like, I see some people in these Appalachian Trail Facebook groups that have pictures of being on Katahdin and they thru hiked, and they are some of the most bitter fucking assholes I have ever encountered on the internet. Like, always leaving mean, snarky comments. Like, people are excited to come out here and hike for the first time, and they're asking honest questions. And you get these people that have thru hiked, and they're like, "Oh, you idiot! Blah, blah, you know, this question has been answered a million times. You idiot!" You know, so, and I'm like, maybe you should go on another thru hike because apparently the first one didn't save you. And I'm out here to be saved by the trail. I'm not out here to hike the trail. I'm out here to save my life. And that's it. That's the PSA. I gotta get hiking today. But, you know, there's the Sam you know on the videos, and then there's like the real Sam. And the real Sam went through some shit, man. 2 years ago, I was trembling, puking blood. It's amazing how I managed to support a business and manage a restaurant. And when I tell people that I was an alcoholic, they were like, "Really? We had no clue." You know, and like, that's considering like where I was at, man. I got to the point in the end where I couldn't even eat solid food, you know? It's really amazing that I'm alive, and I'm trying, just trying to be happy. I'm trying to do what we're all doing. We're all trying to just be happy. And I could say that it's working. Because out here, life is good, man. Life is good. And you're all good. And God is good. And I give God credit for this. 100%. Yep. That's all. Time to hike. This is me from the future. You're seeing me, 10 days ago in today's video. But it's just, please just stop. Stop. Just let me hike my own hike. I need you all to be supportive, not negative. You know, I read all these comments. I don't have a chance to respond to all of them, but I read them. Just, please don't be negative in my shit. That's it. Thank you. Today's a great day. Hope you have a great day. You're all great, and God is great. And I'll see you later, you sexy, sexy people. I love you all. Bye.